It's Monday, April 22nd. I'm Jasmine Anderson. A former doctor at Northwell Health is scheduled to stand trial Wednesday. He's accused of sexually abusing patients. At the same time, he's facing lawsuits from hundreds of patients. Sherry Einhorn has a story you'll see only in Newsday.
I put my trust in Northwell Health. I put my trust in Dr. Puk. I put my trust in, and that trust was broken.
I've over time come to grips with the fact that I didn't do anything wrong and that I was a victim.
James O'Connell and Tucker Coburn are both former patients of urologist Dr. Darius Puk. Both say they were sexually abused by the doctor, who worked for Northwell Health in Great Neck and Lake Success, and before that for Weill Cornell Medicine in Manhattan.
When you reflect in hindsight, you really start to realize that, it wasn't odd, he was taking advantage.
The doctor was arrested in April 2023 on charges of sexual assault and abuse against 6 minors and 2 adults. Puk pleaded not guilty and is scheduled to go on trial in federal court next week. His attorney declined to comment.
I want to see him in jail.
A slew of civil lawsuits have already been filed against Puk and the hospital systems on behalf of former patients who claim hospital administrators knew about complaints against the doctor but did nothing to stop him.
There were serial complaints made about him from patients, from people who worked for him, for people who worked with him over the years. Starting as early as 2007.
Tucker told me he reported the doctor to Northwell Health in 2020.
I warned them and I tried to stop any future abuse. I talked to the HR department and the physician leadership team at Northwell as part of their investigation. And then, of course, nothing happened from that.
Northwell Health and Weill Cornell said they couldn't talk about the case because of pending litigation, but issued statements saying in part, from Northwell Health, we are deeply disturbed by the allegations against Dr. Darius Puk and continue to cooperate fully with authorities in connection with their prosecution of him. And from Weill Cornell, the acts described are disturbing and appalling, and we feel deeply for those involved. We are fully cooperating with law enforcement.
They knew this was going on. They had a duty to investigate it, and they failed their patients.
For NewsdayTV, I'm Sherry Einhorn.
Sherry, thank you. To read more about this story on Newsday.com, click Get More below the Newsday TV video box. Cold Spring Hills nursing home employees could be losing their health care benefits as soon as today. The union representing more than 400 workers say benefits are set to expire because the homeowners failed to pay millions into an employee health care fund. A Nassau judge fined the Woodbury facility for failing to make the payments. An attorney for the home declined to comment. Opening statements are set to begin today in former President Donald Trump's hush money trial. Last week, the court selected 12 jurors and 6 alternates to hear the case in Manhattan. It centered around $130,000 in payments made to Stormy Daniels ahead of the 2016 presidential election. On Friday, a former Long Island resident, Max Azzarello, died after setting himself on fire outside the courthouse. Before it happened, police say he spread conspiracy theory pamphlets around himself. The case against Trump is expected to last several weeks. If convicted, he faces up to 4 years in prison on each of the 34 counts against him. To read more about the Trump trial on Newsday.com, click Get More below the Newsday TV video box. In East Meadow, hundreds gathered calling for peace in Gaza. At a rally at Eisenhower Park on Saturday, an estimated 300 people called for the withdrawal of Israeli military from the region. Israelis and Palestinians have been at war since Hamas attacked Israel in October, killing roughly 1,200 people and kidnapping hundreds more. According to the Gaza Health Ministry, at least 34,000 Palestinians have been killed since the conflict began. A Comac housing project could be getting more than $6 million in tax breaks. The Suffolk Industrial Development Agency says preliminary approval to the tax incentives in March. The developer wants to build a 98-unit rental community. The public has until Wednesday to comment on the plan. The IDA is expected to meet Thursday for the final approval. As the weather warms up, outdoor dining is returning to West Hampton Beach. The Village Board has approved 18 restaurants for seasonal permits. Permit renewals were put on hold while the village worked through seating capacity and sewage issues. It's been a year since the state announced it's banning Native American mascots. While most local districts are conforming, some are still fighting the mandate. Macy Egland has a story you'll see only in Newsday.
1 year after the state announced a ban on Native American mascots and imagery in schools, several Long Island districts say they're making progress in eliminating their mascots.
I think we've done a really good job of taking a task and turning it into something really positive for the school.
Sewanaka High School in Floral Park taking a proactive approach, already removing their team name, the Indians, from many of their jerseys. Students and faculty came up with ideas, got a response from the community, and will soon announce their new mascot.
I have found the students to be so open to the dialogue.
Sewanaka is one of 13 local districts affected by the state's ban, which was announced last April. The affected schools will have to remove any Native American imagery. For Sewanaka, that means replacing the turf, removing benches, and updating their signs, something they say they have budgeted for already. The state says it is providing financial aid if needed. Many of the projects estimated to cost hundreds of thousands of dollars. 5 districts are still fighting it in court. Massapequa, the first to file suit over their Chiefs logo, along with Connecticut, the Thunderbirds, as well as Amityville, Wyandanch, and Wantagh, which all go by the Warriors.
There are many kinds of warriors. We have wounded warriors. I just don't think that they really should have to change their name. The same with the chiefs. We have fire chiefs, we have police chiefs.
It's hand in glove. Massapequa are the Massapequa chiefs all over the town, not just schools.
Local indigenous leaders say it's something they've been trying to eliminate for decades, calling the imagery offensive and harmful.
The cost of litigation comes out of your budget as well. So, what is the decision that you want? What is the impact that you want to have in your community?
Districts have until the end of the 2024-2025 school year to meet the mandate or risk losing state aid. Reporting for NewsdayTV, I'm Macy Egland.
Macy, thank you. Read more about the mascot ban on Newsday.com. Click Get More below the Newsday TV video box. The Rangers kicked off their playoff series against the Capitals with a big win.
Roslovic clears it ahead for Zibanejad. Outlet pass for Kreider. Moving in on Lindgren. Kreider deeps and scores!
Chris Kreider scored the final goal at the Garden. The Blue Shirts win it 4-1. The head coach, Peter Laviolette, spoke after the game.
We're here to win games, and so it's obviously good to get the first one. We'll have meetings tomorrow. I think there's things that we could have done better. I'm sure they'll have the same meetings. Everything ratchets up a little bit more. We're going to need to be ready.
The Rangers play Game 2 against the Capitals tomorrow night. An East End Tulip Festival is expanding. As Newsday TV's Rachel Weiss reports, now you can find the flowers in more than one spot.
Flowers as far as the eye can see. This year, the annual Tulip Festival has planted roots in a second location.
There are 500,000 tulips planted here at Water Drinker North Fork in Riverhead, and the best is still yet to come in the season.
We started Water Drinker in Manorville in 2018. We started Water Drinker North Fork, which is our newest farm here in Riverhead, in 2023 for our fall season. So this is our first spring season. This farm is just a little bit different than Manorville. It's more rolling hills. In Manorville, it's a bit more flat. So it's really a different kind of scenery when you're visiting the Riverhead location.
With a play area for the kids and a beer garden for the adults, many families have become regulars here.
We've had an incredible turnout, a lot of community support. This is the perfect time to visit. We're almost at full bloom, so we're really excited.
And you can even take some of the farm home with you at $1 a stem.
We're family owned, 6th generation. We have a big family, a lot of kids. So seeing them, if they're having a good time, we're pretty sure that other families on Long Island are having a good time.
The tulips will be in bloom through the last weekend of April. In Riverhead, Rachel Weiss for Newsday TV.
A beautiful sight to see. I got to get out there. To read more about the Tulip Festival on Newsday.com, click Get More below the Newsday TV video box. To the weather now. Let's take a look outside. Here's a look at Conscious Point Marina in Southampton. The sun's still rising and it is a beautiful but chilly day today. Checking out your hyper-local forecast. Sunny today, highs around 56 degrees. We cool down just a bit as we reach the evening. Tomorrow, more sunshine. Highs remain in the mid-50s. No complaints there. And looking at your 7-day forecast, you can see a gorgeous Earth Day today. Plenty of sunshine with highs in the 50s and 60s throughout the week. We may get a shower or two on Wednesday. We'll keep you updated on that. That's your 7-day forecast.
Long Island weather is brought to you by Fire Island Ferries.
I'm Jasmine Anderson. Happy Earth Day. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you soon.